Statewide, city volunteers distribute blankets and cash cards to fire-affected residents in California. In the pandemic period, seniors in Taiwan overcome difficulties to return to normal life. Welcome to the Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In the United States, Dixie Fire is the second largest fire disaster in history. It has damaged mountainous regions in Northern California, burning down large areas of forests. As the forest fires continue, Northern California city volunteers have gone to local disaster shelter to distribute blankets and cash cards to the affected residents.
My house was burned down totally with all my stuff in it, everything, all my papers, everything.
Over the last few years, we've seen a big increase in terms of some of this extreme fire activity, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're in this extended drought. These fuels are drier than they ever have been before, and that just really changes your likelihood of ignition and, in general, your fire behavior.
A lot of the people had been dropped by the insurance companies before the fires hit, and they had no insurance, and they were left completely devastated.
I felt this was the way to get started getting my identification back and to get some help that we need right now.
I've always worked in fields where I help people. It has also been a little bit saddening seeing some of my good friends come in needing assistance.
The generosity of people who don't even know us is quite fantastic, and this was very, very generous of your organization. We do appreciate it.
We're working at getting her a safe and comfortable place for an elderly person to live. The donations from you guys are like way big, and we're very happy that you're helping us. It'll help big time.
A place like this gives you a lot of hope. When you feel like people care, it's so much easier to go through what you have to go through. It's very difficult to sit down and write everything that you own on a piece of paper. The things that you have are not as important as the memories that you have. A house can burn, but a home can't.
The COVID pandemic in the United States is rising again due to the Delta strain. City volunteers in Southern California visited hospitals and community healthcare centers to distribute hand sanitizer and masks. Let's join in there.
The contact information of Tzu Chi Medical Center is attached to each bottle of hand sanitizer, which are being placed in the community rehabilitation and care center for epidemic prevention.
These big ones we can keep at the nurses station for all of our staff members. You also have some little ones that you also provided for us. That's perfect for our residents and patients. They come straight from the hospital, and sometimes they don't have any sort of hand sanitizer, so that really helps out.
After receiving COVID vaccine, the volunteers in Southern California went to nearby hospitals to care for the situation and learned that the Delta mutant strain has spread. Healthcare workers were paying extra attention to avoid a serious outbreak.
Currently, we are experiencing a rise in the COVID cases. This is a serious surge here. Thank you so much for the preventive measures that with the hand sanitizers. It's still not over, and I know we just need to stay healthy and just be strong.
This is one of the items that we will definitely need, especially with our new cases going up. It's unfortunate, but supplies like this we will definitely use. And of course, hopefully this whole pandemic will end soon.
The school in South El Monte is reopened to students. Volunteers took the lead to wait at the school gate early in the morning to distribute hand sanitizers and masks to remind students to stay alert regarding pandemic prevention.
Once homeless due to his own pride, 60-year-old Tiebing has lived on the streets for the past 5 years. He survived by eating the day's leftovers, and even if cockroaches got to it first, he would just shake off the bugs and continue eating. He walked into a Jingsi hall one day and forever changed his life. He's now a recycling volunteer and also working to rent a small suite.
I have no friends. Who would I talk to? Sometimes I went for a week without talking. The longest was a month. It's my own fault, really. I had a wife, but not anymore. Later, I got into a fight with my sister. I told her that I didn't need to live in her home. It's not that great, so now I'm alone and without hope. I then decided not to work and just live off the street. At night, the cars come by and rattle the whole place. In the winter, it's very cold where I can hardly fall asleep. I've always eaten food that was left over from that day, so I don't even know what a fresh cooked meal tastes like. It wouldn't matter if it was fresh or not because I was starving, and I would just shake the cockroaches off and eat what was available. I had a plastic bottle that I cut in half to use, and I could wash my whole body that way. I had a rope and a letter of goodbye in my bag ready all the time. I've been alone for so many years and sometimes went months without speaking to anyone. Suddenly I come here and everyone is saying hello, greeting me. That lonely feeling inside slowly went away with time.
He's very motivated here. Whenever this is full, he'll go empty it. Or when the bench is empty, he'll bring more over.
Coming here, this is the road he's meant to walk on, and he has to work hard at continuing it. I worry he won't be able to carry on. If I don't hear him in 2 days, I'll call him until I get an answer.
The kind of adversity he's overcome, from nothing to everything, and digging through the trash for food, even going to the funeral homes to eat the ritual food for the deceased. He is not just a normal homeless person, he is more like an heart now.
来慈济之前一个晚上啊，那就想要走了算了。他有想。嘿，然后但是呢，结果老天爷啊就下来一场雨嘛，把他好像给他给淋醒了。淋醒了，我想他已经不在这个世界了。有想到这个打算，我不敢看的，我都去看过了。认尸啊什么的。认尸啊什么那种都有去看。 你看，让妹妹那么担心哦。谢谢。对不起。对不起，妹妹。见到她平平安安就好了啦。真的是见到她真让人高兴的。也希望她以后也平平安安的就好了。总算是对父母有一个交代，说她还是在。哎呀，哎呀，对呀。谢谢。常常回来。好。
In Rengai Township, Nantou County, Mr. Shen and his wife are raising 4 young children. They have a difficult life as Mr. Shen recently broke his hand and has been unable to work for 2 months. His wife's meager income supports a family of 6. Tzu Chi volunteers personally deliver furniture, desk, chairs, and laptop to help the children study.
Everyone worked together to move furniture out of the truck, and volunteers helped to put it in the house. There are also bicycles, and children can't wait to try them. A volunteer has not forgotten the gift for the youngest child.
You can wear it in winter. In winter, it's cold here and you can wear it.
Mr. Shen and his wife raised 2 girls and 2 boys. The eldest is in 4th grade. The youngest is only 1 year old. Mr. Shen has a broken hand and is temporarily unable to work.
He still can't work. My current job is only $300 a month.
The house is just 4 walls, and the children didn't even have a desk to do their homework.
There is no desk. There is no place for books. I'm thankful for this opportunity as the volunteers helped prepare some furniture for us. Thank you so much.
Volunteers also sent a laptop to help the children learn.
Thank you, Tzu Chi uncles and aunts. I will take the exam and study seriously. I have to pass the exam to make my family happy.
The furniture is second-hand, but in very good condition. We brought it here today to enrich the furnishing in this family.
After the furniture was moved in, the children felt fresh and pleasantly surprised as the empty house suddenly felt more like a home.
In mid-May of this year, Taiwan entered a 3rd-level COVID alert, which closed much of the long-term care system for seniors living alone. It was a major blow to their physical and mental health. Although the pandemic was reduced to level 2 alert at the end of July, much of the domestic long-term care system was unable to return to normal at all at once. Fortunately, there are some medical staff helping seniors return to normal life.
Early in the morning, the occupants of the long-term care office are all quite busy contacting disadvantaged families. The grandmother at the other end of the video conference was diagnosed with COVID. Is now discharged from the hospital, but the grandmother is still in the care of Elder Home Service.
Her daughter worried there's really no food on the mountain. Grandma will eat things randomly as she said that she worried at Grandma's health, so she helped her apply for a service to deliver meals. For almost 2 years, I go up every Monday to Friday to deliver food. Now she has a fixed meal plan in place.
Grandma was diagnosed on the 30th of May with COVID. Because she was infected, we used robots in a dedicated COVID ward of our Tzu Chi hospital. The robot has some function to accompany Grandma to sing. We thought of ways to make Grandma feel happier. Her CT value was greater than 30 on the 17th of June, and with the accompaniment of nursing staff, she was eventually discharged.
Before the pandemic, this grandmother liked to hang around with others, but after the pandemic, grandmother returned home and many of her interpersonal connections were completely broken.
She was really sad because she suddenly couldn't accept that she suddenly didn't have contact with so many people. Actually, I know grandmother was a little bit hurt by this. After accompanying her, grandma will feel more relief.
等下厝拢在烤草咧。拢咧烤草哦。哦。上人讲吼，这款手上水啦。做事的这手上水啦。咱咧互你小食，吼，嘿，甲你放屁啊。
Doctors understand their patients, especially when it comes to shared pandemic experience. They understand Grandma's mood, as this group of long-term care staff are very important for providing companionship during this period of pandemic.
When we do our visits, we'll bring some equipment to help Grandma take her health check measurements.
战术袂歹，拢正常。
A level 3 alert for more than 2 months meant that the domestic long-term care system, except for residential care institutions, had to close, such as long-term care centers and community care bases. As a result, many sick elderly people had to stay in their homes all day.
He's divorced and has no children. In fact, his relatives and friends have no contact with him at all.
They have been suffering from depression a long time ago, not just because of this pandemic, but this has shrunk their access to social resources and made things harder. When he came back from the hospital, he basically couldn't eat at all. So he really needs this type of formula, which can be drunk directly.
The public donates supplies and the government helps with home service.
It gives me a lot of encouragement. Yes, I said that I'll write to these organizations. I feel moved to tears. I'll write this to them. During the pandemic, some elders need to do kidney dialysis. When staff didn't push an individual to do this, and he passed away, the government also took this into consideration. This home care service cannot be stopped.
Some say that the sun doesn't shine on the most beautiful part of Taiwan, which is the compassion and human warmth that binds us together during this time of pandemic.
Medical students at Tzu Chi University enter the second phase of national medical examination and receive a 100% passing rate. Teachers expect them to work hard on the road to become physicians.
Resident Dr. Tzu Chi, who is currently working in the cardiology ward of Hualien Tzu Hospital, was happy to hear that he has passed the national medical examination.
I'm very excited to know I have passed the national medical examination.
Congratulations to the graduating students. Special thanks should also go to the clinical teachers for their dedication to teaching our students, so that our students are able to get very good results in the national exam.
The passing rate of the School of Medicine, Tzu Chi University, in the national medical exam has been 100% for 2 consecutive years. Dr. Huang Zixiu, who is under general clinical medicine training, specifically mentioned that the silent mentors of Tzu Chi University has affected his attitude towards practicing medicine.
It's not just to finish the anatomy course, we also need to conduct some home visitation to get to know more about the silent mentor. I think this is also helpful to know about his illness.
While Dr. Xu Zicao believes that the standard patient curriculum has trained up his courage.
Some teachers even treat the course as a standardized patient simulation. They took us directly to the outpatient clinic to meet patients, so when the exam questions come out, we won't be too nervous and able to perform normally.
One never learns too much on the road to practicing medicine.
If you feel pain, you can tell me.
Where pain? Here, hip. Not head? No.
Now the point is, does his head hurt? When you lift his leg, he said it hurt, but you didn't ask him where it hurts. This is the weak point.
It is expected that this group of medical students can study hard so as to give patients the best care.
Due to remote learning in the pandemic, Tzu Chi and the Kaohsiung City government are providing relief boxes for living supplies and fresh produce for disadvantaged families. Most of the relief aid is being sent to the mountainous regions. Volunteers deliver fresh fruit and vegetables in hopes the children can enjoy these for a while and get the nutrition they need.
Inside the farmers market, thousands of boxes are arranged, waiting for vegetables and fruit to be added. The fresh produce box will have in-season fruit and root vegetables, which can last for a while as the main items.
It's been raining a lot lately, so leafy vegetables and root vegetables don't keep well. And also there's less of it harvested.
We've picked vegetables which don't rot or bruise easily.
The volunteers work at packing up the relief boxes. This time, Tzu Chi is working with the Kaohsiung City government to donate over 4,000 boxes to disadvantaged families.
Last time it was for pandemic prevention. This time, it's aimed at low-income family students.
The boxes of fresh produce arrive at Taoyuan's mountain region, as the residents have not had fresh vegetables to eat since the bridge has been broken.
对，好高兴。
你张山国小啊？对。哦，你领这什么？啊？
他说这个是菜。
Each box has the children's name written on it to let the children and their family know society cares for their health and well-being.
Hong Kong City volunteers have been caring for Mr. Wang, who lives in a tiny apartment for a long time. They also visited 2 places in Mongkok and gave out care packages to residents, encouraging them to go meatless.
After getting off the bed, the remaining space is only 2 persons wide. Hong Kong people call such residential areas cage homes. Although there is air conditioning, it can only be turned on from 6 in the evening to 5 in the morning, and residents must also abide by the regulations to ensure safety. The COVID pandemic has severely hit the economy, making the lives of the residents here more difficult. So the volunteers distributed care packages, which include instant multigrain powder and snacks, as well as vegetarian milk vouchers to encourage them to go meatless.
1秒鐘2556隻動物喎，就係嗰個鼻實喎，係咪？係啊，一年呢幾多啊？806億喎，嗰個動物壽命喎，差唔多絕種嘞喎。係啊，咁啊就係因為我哋一個口嘅嗰個肉鏈啊，唔需要咧就係食動物。係咯，係啊，係啦，係咪呢個係好？係咯。
Volunteers visited 2 cage homes in Mongkok, knowing that residents were looking forward to resuming to normal life.
If you want the pandemic to be eliminated quickly, everyone doesn't want to wear masks often, right? It's better for everyone to start going vegetarian. Are you determined to have at least 1 vegetarian meal a day?
Dai King Kwok, who used to be a chef, expressed interest in cooking vegetarian dishes.
I'll try. See if I will be successful. I would like to try cooking vegetarian food in northern Chinese flavor.
They are either single or suffering from illnesses. Although the pandemic has restricted their movement, the human touch remains the same in cage homes.
Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital has held a gratitude prayer ceremony for the auspicious month. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.